All right. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. My name is Rico. You're joining our call here tonight not to buy anything. I want to make sure that you understand that that's not what our intention is. Our intention is just to get the word out about what we do, so that if you do know somebody in the future that could benefit from our service, that you could give a referral to Tim, because he would really appreciate that. He's really excited about what he's helping us to do within our company and how we're helping a lot of folks to protect themselves in ways that they didn't know that they could before. So what I'm going to do tonight is talk about who we are, what we do, and why so many people are joining us right now. When I first saw the company, they asked me a question. They said, Rico, have you ever signed a contract or a document? And they asked me if I've ever been overcharged or treated unfairly. They also asked if I ever received a traffic ticket or knew a victim of identity theft. And my answer to every one of those questions was yes. But then they asked me if I had ever sought the advice of an attorney on any of those situations. And my answer to that was no. And the reason my answer was no was because I didn't even know that it was possible to have what we call an affordable attorney. The attorneys that I know are $250, $300, some of them are up to $900 an hour just to get questions answered and go through filing of pieces of paper. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I could just pick up the phone, contact an attorney, and not get billed. Well, that's what our company does, because we define a legal situation as something completely different than what most people have ever defined a legal situation as. We define a legal situation as any situation where you think the advice of an attorney might be useful. And what we do is we're a unique service and a priceless benefit. Legal Shield gives you the ability to talk to an attorney on any matter without worrying about the high hourly costs. So for one flat monthly fee, you can access legal advice no matter how traumatic or trivial the issue. Under the protection of Legal Shield, you and your family can live your life on your terms, worry-free, every day and every night. Our membership it's very simple. How it works is we've had over 2 million requests last year into our system. What that means is 2 million times people picked up the phone and contacted our attorneys. We're covered in every single state, and we have 49 major providing law firms, one in every state except for Alaska. And I think the reason we're not in Alaska is because I heard that there's more moose out there than there are people. Legal advice over the phone in Colorado here, the major providing law firm that we use is called Riggs, Abney, Neal, Turpin, Orbison, and Lewis. I know it's a ridiculously long name, so I just refer to them as Riggs, Abney, and it turns out the only people that are upset about that are Neal, Turpin, Orbison, and Lewis. But when you have a legal issue, you call the phone number, the secretary takes your name, your membership number, what the issue is, and then gets it to an attorney that specializes in that area. That's really important because we have attorneys that specialize in every single area. The average tenure for our attorney is 16 years as an attorney. So you're not getting a paralegal, you're getting an actual attorney that specializes in that area of law that you're asking about. And what happens is you're guaranteed a phone call back within 8 business hours. Usually they end up calling you back pretty fast. And then they're going to answer your questions. They're going to tell you what you need to know, what your rights are, if you're right, if you're wrong in some situation. And then also part of our service is if they feel that the situation would be bettered by writing a letter or making a phone call, they'll do that. I recently just had to use the service because I was up in Boulder. If any of you have ever been to Boulder, you know that it's a bit of a different town. I was visiting a friend. I pulled into the parking lot that he lived in, and I looked to see if there was a sign that says I couldn't park there, and there wasn't. And so what I did, I parked. I went in. I came back out. There was a ticket on my car. There was a sticker on my window, and there was a boot on my car, basically holding it there until I paid them $50 to get it out. Long story short, I thought that I was being treated unfairly because there wasn't a sign that said that I couldn't park there. And when I asked the gentleman who had his little badge on and took the boot off my car and the one who took my $50, whether he thought that was fair or not, he said, yeah, he thought it was fair. And I said, but there's no sign here. And he said, well, no, there's a sign. And he pointed about 300 feet away to another entrance to the same parking lot I was in, but it was adjoined in the back of the apartment complex. It was nowhere near where I could possibly see this. And so I assumed that he was putting me on, but he told me that Colorado law states that there only has to be one sign per parking lot, and that it was too bad for me that I didn't see that. So what I did was I called the law firm. The attorney got back with me in about 45 minutes. I told him what was going on. He told me, he said, you know what, they might be right. You might be right. I'm not sure. Let me do some research. So he did some research. He got back to me, and he said I was right and they were wrong. And he asked me what he wanted me to do. And I said, well, what are my options? And he told me that he could write a letter or make a phone call. And so I asked him to write the letter. He wrote a letter, and 3 days later I got a check for $50, an apology letter, and a letter thanking them for bringing to their attention that this sign, their sign that was supposed to be at that entrance, had been stolen. And this is not a situation I ever would have asked for the help of an attorney for. It just works out that our membership allows people to not have to worry about being pushed around anymore. And I use it to its fullest ability all the time. We also review contracts and documents up to 10 pages. Unlimited amount of documents, up to 10 pages. You fax it over to the law firm. They review it. They get back to you, tell you what you should sign, what you shouldn't sign, or if you should even sign it at all. We'll also prepare a will for our members. This is important because 80% of Americans right now do not have a will. And so we give a will as well as a living will and a healthcare power of attorney to all of our members just for trying the service out. We'll also help people with traffic-related issues. If you drive like a teenager, I understand that. I have a lot of friends that do the exact same thing. This is the only part of our membership that has a waiting period. But 15 days from the time that you have the membership, if you have a moving violation, as long as there's no drugs or alcohol involved, we'll send an attorney to court with you to defend you in that, to make sure that you are being treated fairly, and to make sure that we get the lowest possible points and the lowest fine for you. And this helps to protect your good driving record, so therefore it's going to save you money in the long run for your automobile insurance. We also offer trial defense. It's broken up between pretrial and representation at trial. But every one of our members starts out with a bank of 60 hours sitting in an account waiting to be used if they're ever named in a civil lawsuit. And that goes up every single year, 60 hours to a maximum of 335 hours. We offer 24/7 emergency access for things that, we can all agree that bad things happen to good people. And this is not a license to go out and go ahead and commit crimes. But what this is it's a helpful situation for people that, let's say someone does end up getting arrested. You can call an attorney 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can be routed to them in a situation like being arrested, detained, if there's a warrant being served on you, if the state's trying to take your children, or if there is any situation like a traffic accident where you need to get a hold of an attorney immediately. We also offer a 25% preferred member discount for things that people would normally hire an attorney for. Things like a divorce, a child custody issue, a DUI, something where you would normally hire an attorney, we give you a 25% preferred discount. We also have IRS audit assistance. If you're named in an audit, what do? Most people have no idea, so we provide 50 hours a year of a tax attorney's time if you are named in an IRS audit. We also have all the online legal forms available to be downloaded, and we provide this to all of our members for free. You can actually download the form, call the attorney, they'll tell you how to fill it out, and you can fax it over to them to make sure that you did it correctly. So they had asked me at this point during the presentation for the first time that I saw it, they asked me, they said, if you were an attorney, Rico, what would you charge for this? And I really had no idea. I had no idea how much I would charge to protect my family for this. But I knew that I figured it was going to be expensive. But whatever number you're thinking right now, what you think we charge per month, give it a second because we actually offer more. We offer identity theft protection. And we offer identity theft protection because this is the #1 consumer complaint category in America right now. 22,000 people will have their identity stolen today. And that's according to the FBI. And identity theft manifests itself in so many different ways that it's really scary. Less than 20% of identity theft is financial. What's scary is when someone takes your identity and they go out and they start committing crimes in your name, and they don't go to court. And now you end up with a warrant out for your arrest because that situation is very scary. You get pulled over, you're driving home from a Bronco game, you have a tail light out, you get pulled over, and next thing you know, you're in handcuffs. And what does the cop hear every single time he arrests somebody? He hears, it wasn't me. Well, in a situation that really wasn't you, what do? Or in a situation where someone steals your identity and they end up going to the hospital because they don't want to pay for the bill. They don't want the emergency room bill in their name. What ends up happening is if they have a different blood type than you, they've now changed your medical record, and if something happens to you where you need to have a blood transfusion and they can't check to see what blood type you are, you end up with a very serious medical condition here, and that serious condition is called you're dead. And the reason I bring it up is because it's happened so many times that it's become a huge problem for identity theft. Victims face issues such as problems securing a loan, harassment, arrest for crimes they didn't commit. So what we do is we offer a lot of things inside our identity theft shield. We offer credit monitoring with activity alerts, a credit report with a score and analysis, a credit consultation, and a consultation to help you prevent your identity from being stolen. But we take it a step further. What we do is if your identity is stolen, you sign a one-page limited power of attorney, and a private investigator from Kroll goes to work and fixes it for you. So instead of spending an average of 600 hours of your time fixing your identity, a licensed private investigator from the #1 private investigating firm in the world goes to work and fixes it on your behalf. So we are able to do this because we put professionals to work to provide the protection you deserve. We have dedicated provider law firms that are quality controlled to the highest standard. They're monitored by Legal Shield, and they're prepaid and ready to advise you. Kroll Advisory Solutions is the world's leading risk consulting firm. They have Fortune 500 clientele, and they're prepaid and ready to go as well. Legal Shield's customer service professionals ensure our members get the service that they deserve. And we are able to provide all of this at what I consider the best value ever. Our standard legal plan is $17 a month. The identity theft plan is $12.95. So that's a total of $29.95 a month, but we give a $3 discount for bundling them together. So everything that I just talked to you about is only $26.95 per month. The coverage includes yourself, your dependents, and your spouse, and your first month's payment includes a $10 enrollment fee. That's it. But the best part about what we do is that there's no contract. Because if you're anything like me, the first time I heard about this product, this service, I was thinking to myself, what's the catch? It sounds too good to be true. To be able to pick up the phone, call an attorney, ask any legal question I want, and not get a bill sounded too good to be true. So we tell people, if you don't believe it, try it out for a month. Try it out for a month. If you don't like it, quit. And most people end up keeping it for the long term. So we ask people, when we give this presentation in person, we ask for less than $1 a day, isn't it worth protecting your family? And most people say yes. But then we also ask, well, who do you know that has children, has had their identity compromised, is self-employed or a business owner, or needs to repair or update their will? That's why you guys are on the phone today. It's not to buy our membership. It's so that you know what Tim's doing now, because Tim is out helping so many people to be protected and protect their families. That's why you're on the phone right now, because he wants you guys to know what he's doing so that in the future you can refer people to him. Because who do you know that has children, has had their identity compromised, is self-employed or a business owner, or needs to prepare or update their will? So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unmute the line, and I'm going to see if anybody has any questions, and we'll just kind of go from there.